Tonight on Clo News, Grinnell community members woke up to smoke this morning after a fire broke out on Main Street. Waukee High School's Chief Operation Officer Eric Rose has turned himself in following accusations of spending malpractice. And finally, the Hawkeye basketball team is back in the swing of things after a great win this past weekend. We'll tell you who they beat and how they are on track for a record-breaking season. Clo News is now. Good evening, I'm Blake Walker.
And I'm Blake Johnson. A fire broke out in the town of Grinnell at around 6 o'clock this morning at the El Mocajete restaurant on Main Street.
Firefighters from all over Powesheik County showed up to the scene to try and contain the fire, but it was a little too late. At the scene is Blake McCarthy.
Thank you, Blake. As you can see behind me, considerable damage was done to the building housing Mexican restaurant El Mocajete earlier on the morning of December 17th. Fire crews were called in at around 6:02 a.m. on the report of flames coming from the roof of the building. Several other fire crews from the region around here helped contain the inferno. I talked with Grinnell Fire Chief Dan Sicard a little bit ago, and he said that the fire was in the roof and crawl space area. It was so hot that the metal roof began caving in and they had to move the firefighters out before it collapsed. Thankfully, he assured me that everyone in the surrounding apartments was evacuated and no one was hurt in the incident. The cause of this fire, Blake, is still unclear, but it appears to have had electrical origins. They've already begun tearing down the building, and we'll hope to get everything up and running again as soon as possible. Back to you guys.
Terribly unfortunate, Blake, especially right after the holiday season. We'll have more updates tomorrow morning.
The Waukee School Board has voted to accept COO Eric Rose's resignation in lieu of termination. An audit was released earlier this month that revealed the district misspent more than $130,000 from 2013 to 2017. The money was used on things like restaurant trips, out-of-state retreats, and office furniture.
The action took place at an emergency meeting Monday morning in a closed session. The meeting was called immediately after Rose turned himself in to the Dallas County Jail this weekend, where he was charged with 3 felonies. He faces 2 counts of solicitation to commit a felony and 1 count of felonious misconduct in office. He is accused of using school district equipment at his home, giving access to school facilities to family members, and falsifying time cards for employees.
The future of Rose's position remains in doubt. After the break, we have Pizza Hut, Uber's big plans, and the weather. You're watching Clo News.
Oh man, too bad it's so cold outside. Can't play basketball. If only there was something else to do.
Well, what if I told you there was something to do?
What? Hi, I'm Blake Blordmain, and we've got board games for you. I've got old games, new games, classic games, card games, games that you can play with your family, and games that will destroy friendships. These games have got to go. They're absolute classics, and they're cheap. So stop by Blordmain's Board Games on 1313 Bjorn Lane and pick up your new board games today.
In a shakeup, Pizza Hut is pouring more resources into its beer delivery service in order to get an edge over Domino's. The pizza chain announced this Monday that it is expanding its beer delivery to 1,000 locations by the summer. Beer delivery will be up and running in nearly 300 locations in many states, including Nebraska, North Carolina, Ohio, Arizona, and here in Iowa by mid-January. As it stands, Pizza Hut is the only national pizza chain that delivers beer. Pizza Hut isn't the only company looking to invest more heavily in the Iowan marketplace. Uber has big plans as well. On Wednesday morning, Uber announced that its popular ride-sharing products and services will now be available across the entire state of Iowa. The company says they feel like, quote, residents and visitors across the state deserve access to affordable and reliable transportation, and now Uber will be available in more Iowan cities than ever. While wait times might be long now, Uber expects them to decrease drastically within just a few months. Hopefully the service expands quickly as our warm walking weather is coming to an end. Despite a warmer start to this winter season, the Iowan winter is slowly creeping in over the state. Next up is our weather segment with Chief Meteorologist Blake Winder. Thank you, Blake. It is indeed getting colder across the state of Iowa. While you were sleeping last night, a cold front came in from the northwest corner of the state. It's already affecting the Des Moines metro area as we're already sitting down at 5 degrees. Waterloo sitting at about 10 degrees, and Iowa City over here at 13 degrees. So you're going to want to bundle up tomorrow morning, as the whole cold front should have moved across the state by around 8 o'clock. Taking a look at our 5-day forecast, it is going to be getting colder. That is the trend as we go throughout the next 5 days. Tomorrow we're going to have a high of 3 degrees, so you definitely want to grab that coat as you head out the front door. Taking a look at Tuesday, we have a 40% chance of snow, so you'll definitely want to be checking back into Clo News on the updates as that storm develops. That's all for now. Thank you, Blake. Back to you. Thank you, Blake. We'll definitely want to crank up the heat in our homes the next couple of days, that's for sure. Next up, we have a short break, and then we're going to get you to a sports story and a dramatic comeback story for the Marshalltown Community Theater. You're watching Clo News.
Have you ever wanted to make instant snow? Well, now you can with the Instant Snow Pot. It's simple. To start, just fill the Instant Snow Pot with water.
Then you throw it in the air. Instant snow!
What's more, for a limited time, you can get double the snow for half the price. If you order now, you can get 2 Instant Snow Pots for just $19.99.
Go to instantsnowpots.com to order. Must be 18 years or older to order.
Welcome back to Clo News. Things are looking up for the Hawkeye basketball team. Blake Stevenson is down at Carver Hawkeye Arena to tell us more.
The temperatures may have been below freezing yesterday outside of Carver Hawkeye Arena, but the Hawkeyes stayed warm inside, having a red-hot performance against the Savannah State Tigers, who were 3-10 coming into the basketball game. Freshman Joe Wieskamp led the Hawkeyes with 24 points, and teammate Jordan Bohannon finished with 6 three-pointers en route to a blowout win of 110-64. Iowa needs to beat their next opponent, Bryant, to finish undefeated in non-conference play for the first time since 1986, which was in the Tom Davis coaching era. Yesterday's win moved the 23rd ranked Hawkeyes to a 10-2 record on the young season as they prepare for Big Ten play at the beginning of the new year. They open conference play in West Lafayette against Purdue on Thursday, January 3rd.
Thank you for that, Blake. While it may be all sunshine and rainbows for the Hawkeyes, it was certainly not that way for the Marshalltown theater community. Blake Jackson has the story on how this well-known theater is rebuilding as they prepare to open this summer.
If you ask anyone in the town of Marshalltown about the Orpheum Theater located on East Main Street, they will tell you about the shows, actors, and favorite memories that come from the famed building. The theater opened its doors on June 22, 1949, with Ruth Warwick and Gabby Hayes as featured guests, with 915 original seats. Marshalltown is the birthplace of film stars Gene Sebring and Mary Beth Hurt. Because of this connection, on July 19, 1957, the theater was the host of the U.S. premiere of Sebring's St. Joan. On that same day, 61 years later, an EF3 tornado struck Marshalltown, destroying businesses, the courthouse, the hospital, and the Orpheum Theater. The community was devastated, but after the storm passed and the sun shone down on the theater, cleanup began. Leading the cleanup, former actors who performed in the famed theater. When we talked with Bob United, the executive director of the theater, he called it, quote, truly remarkable. He was surprised by how many people came to try and help to clean up the damage left behind. These efforts have helped the process greatly. The theater plans to reopen on July 20th, almost 1 year after the storm. The show they're performing, The Wizard of Oz. With Clo News, I'm Blake Jackson.
And on that high note, we'll wrap it up for today. Make sure to catch us bright and early tomorrow morning as we keep you up to date with the best, most reliable news. I'm Blake Johnson, and I'm Blake Walker, and this has been Clo News. Take care.
Ever on the go and can't find time to watch Clo News? Visit our website at clonews.com, where you can find the latest news stories and rewatch previous broadcasts. While you're searching, check us out on Facebook for weekly giveaways and more. And now, for the first time ever, you can download our new Clo News Now app for free, available for both Apple and Android. Keep up with the Iowan road and weather conditions, as well as sports scores from around the state. Everything Clo News related will be with you anytime and anywhere.